Good afternoon. I am Beatrice Minor, a student at St. Paul's University, Kenya. I am taking a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and security studies. And today we will be talking about reintegration, to be specific, offender reintegration. So we will be discussing offender reintegration specifically in the Kikuyu community. So we will begin by defining the terms offender and the terms reintegration. So who is an offender? An offender is a person who has been committed for a specific crime or offense. What is reintegration? Reintegration is just basically the process of bringing someone back into the community, someone who's fresh out of jail. We will begin by discussing the challenges of offender reintegration. Number one, we have isolation. The ex-offender tends to isolate themselves away from the community once they get back. They have a sense of not belonging. So before they learn the ways, they adapt to the culture that is now here, because what they left is not what they will find. They tend to leave some distance away from the community members and do their own things. Number two, we have labeling. This is quite typical because, of course, when the offender was locked up, he or she had committed a specific offense. Might be rape, might be murder, might be theft, doesn't really matter. So when they left for jail, they left a mark in the community. So when they came back, the elders, the people, the children, the shopkeepers, everyone had a label for them. So once they get back, that label tends to stick on them. So it's quite a challenge because everyone will know them as, oh, huyu ndio ule mwenye aliiba kuku. So watamjua kama mwizi wa kuku. They will not know them by the name, for example, John. They will know them as mwizi wa kuku. So it really tends to be a challenge because it will take quite some time for the offender to wipe off that name that they had previously created, even if they have now changed and they are now a good person. In the Kikuyu community, they are labeled as Mwikorio. Mwikorio means that person has been tagged for a specific offense, for a specific act, for a specific crime. Number three, we have lack of a support system. So, when an offender comes back, they have definitely left a negative impact on the community. So, majority of the people, besides his family and some, if any, of his friends, will still be on their side. But you will find that majority of the people, majority of the leaders, majority of the elders, majority of the police, and the chiefs and the sub-chiefs and whoever, the county commissioners, have completely disregarded the ex-offender. Specifically in the Kikuyu community, we have elders, and the elders are called Kiama. So this Kiama, specifically, let's say they live in an area, let's put St. Paul's University as a community, and we have the elders who are the Kiama, and an offender is now back into the community. If the elders are not on the offender's side, they do not stand up for the offender will tend to lack anyone to talk to, because elders have quite the influence and quite the power on the community members. So if they lack to support him, or if they continue with the notion that, again, John mwizi wa kuku, no one in the community will want to associate themselves with John. So having that support system by the elders will eventually be backed up by the community members, because what they say goes. So if the elders have a positive notion, a positive mentality towards the ex-offender, then definitely the offender will be reintegrated in the society. Number four, we have societal stigmatization. This comes in whereby when the ex-offender is brought back into the community, the parents that were left, the kids that have now grown up, the people that were still there, that are still currently there, have a notion of this person. Again, we will use the example John, who stole a chicken. So what do they know John as? They know John as a thief. So the moment they know, oh, John amerudi back into the community, what will they do? If they used to leave their things out until a certain time, let's say 6 p.m., they will now not leave their stuff outside at 6 p.m. because they will know John has sticky fingers, therefore he will come to steal. Also, in societal events, the ex-offender will tend not to get invited. Specifically in the Kikuyu community, we have a celebration where a man is getting married to a woman. It's called Rorashio. That's a gathering whereby the society is invited, the family is invited, the friends are invited, everyone is usually invited and included into the Rorashio. It's a community, it's a societal occasion, societal event. So the offender will not be invited to the Rorashio because the people, the society, the community already have a notion that he will come to steal, therefore causing a challenge. Number five, lack of job opportunities or limited job opportunities. So, when an ex offender gets back into the community, it is quite typical that they will have a hard time getting a job because number one, there's already that stigma. Number two, there's a label. Number three, people already have a notion of the ex offender that even if we give him or her the job, he or she will still do what they had done. And in this example, we're using John as an example who stole. Even if he stole a chicken, it is now presumed that he will steal money, he will steal things from the shop that he wants to get employed at. So it is quite typical that the people in the community will refrain from employing John into their enterprises, their businesses, because they already have a notion that John is a thief. And that proves to be a challenge for John. We will now look at the solutions to offender reintegration. Number one, education. It is the work of the probation officer to partner up with the leaders of that specific community. They should talk to the people of the community and let them know that it is okay for people to make mistakes and mistakes do happen, but people need to be given a second chance. This will result in a positive view by the community members of the offender, and it will help the offender integrate easier into the community. Number two, personal initiative. It is also upon the ex offender to prove that he or she deserves to be let back into the community. This means that they should completely refrain from anything that might lead the community members to suspect them of committing the same crime that they had previously committed. This means taking part in community workshops, taking part in community cleanups, taking part in everything that will help them gain trust from the community members, and it will make an easier process for integration into the society. Number three, mentorship and community outreach. So once the members of the community have been educated on the importance of offender integration back into their specific opportunities, what they need to do is this. Number one, create opportunities for them to learn skills that will better them and will equip them for the current world that they live in. Because if the offender was locked up for a very long time, it means whatever economy was running back then is not the economy that is running now. Whatever jobs that were prominent back then are not the jobs that are prominent right now. So they should teach them skills that will help them create job opportunities either for themselves or even for others so that they can be able to ensure a smoother reintegration into the community. That was my presentation on offender reintegration. Thank you.